Okay, see that tiny dot in the dark sky? Squint. Still nothing? No wonder. Even though it's very close to Earth in cosmic terms, it's still 18 light-years away from us. But one day, this distant world you can't see with the unaided eye might become a new home to us, because it likely has all the right stuff for life. They're calling it GJ251c, and it's a super-Earth. Now, a quick side note. Super-Earth sounds epic, but it doesn't mean it's some fancy version of Earth with superpowers. It just means it's bigger, somewhere between Earth and the gas giants like Neptune. These planets can be rocky, gassy, like me, or a mix of both. The super only refers to size, not whether you could actually spend your vacay there. Now, this planet sits perfectly in what scientists call the Goldilocks zone. It's not too hot, not too cold, just right for liquid water to hang around. And where there's water, there could be life. We're talking about at least some weird bacteria with serious survival skills. Of course, scientists are still trying to crack the code of what actually makes a planet come alive. There's a whole mix of conditions: distance from the star, atmosphere, and temperature, and GJ251c looks like a top contender. The first thing astronomers check when they stumble across a new super-Earth is if it's rocky like Earth or just another ball of gas like Neptune. Because so far, Earth's still the only rocky world we know that actually supports life. And second, could liquid water exist there? Because water is the ultimate life ingredient. Finding a planet that checks both boxes is super rare. Out of the thousands of exoplanets discovered so far, only a tiny handful hit that sweet spot. So when astronomers realized GJ251c might be one of those, and that is just 18 light-years away, well, they got pretty hyped. The planet star GJ251 is a red dwarf, a small, cool star about one-third the size of our Sun. Because red dwarfs don't put out as much heat, their Goldilocks zones are close in, which actually makes planets easier to find. They whip around faster, so scientists can pick up their orbital patterns more easily. Scientists have been keeping an eye on this star for a while, having collected over 2 decades of data. They already knew it hosted one planet, GJ251b, another super-Earth that orbits every 14 days. But sadly, it's way too close to the star to be habitable. But then, digging deeper into the data, the team spotted hints of another world. It was GJ251c. This one looked promising. So astronomers started watching how the star itself wobbled slightly. Those tiny shakes happen when planets tug on their stars with gravity. The bigger the planet, the harder it pulls. Unexpectedly, the researchers didn't just see the signal from the known planet, GJ251b, there was another tug. GJ251c circled its star every 53.6 days. Now, the catch is, we still don't know much about this new world. We got its mass, sure, about 3.8 times heavier than Earth, but since it doesn't cross in front of its star, we can't tell how big it is or what it's made of, yet. Basically, we found its gravitational footprint, but not the planet itself. Still, astronomers are excited. The new world is bright, close, and perfectly placed for future missions to actually see it directly. That's like going from hearing a noise in another room to opening the door and seeing what's making it. Now, at the same time, that kind of direct imaging is incredibly hard. Stars are bright, and planets are tiny faint specks right next to them. But the new generation of telescopes, the big ones being built right now, might finally have the tech to pull it off. For now, the team's being cautious. The discovery looks solid, but they want to confirm it with even sharper instruments. The next step might literally be seeing this world with our own eyes, well, through a billion-dollar telescope. But for now, it's a really promising mystery world. It's just a matter of looking closer. But let me tell you another thing, and I bet you didn't expect anything like this. Even if another civilization existed on GJ251c or some super-Earth, they might be totally stuck at home. A new study suggests that for all their fancy tech, they'd have a seriously tough time getting off the ground. And I mean it literally. The problem? Gravity. It's a total spoilsport. The thing is, super-Earths are way bigger and heavier than our planet. As a result, their gravity pulls a lot harder. And when gravity cranks up, so does the fuel bill. It skyrockets, pun intended. Launching a rocket from one of those worlds would take exponentially more fuel than it does here on Earth. On a planet that's about twice Earth's radius, the mass can jump to roughly 10 times that of our home planet. That means gravity could be more than twice as strong as what we feel on Earth. Think weighing 300 pounds instead of 150 just by standing there. Now, this extra gravity isn't all bad. It helps keep a thicker atmosphere, which means better protection from cosmic rays and radiation. That's great news if you're a microbe trying to evolve without getting zapped every few minutes. The thicker air could also help regulate temperature and even support more complex weather systems. So, for life starting out, that's a big thumbs up. But when it comes to building rockets, it's a total nightmare. That same gravity that holds the atmosphere also chains you down. For example, let's take Kepler 20b, a super-Earth about 1.87 times Earth's radius and 9.7 times its mass. There, a chemical rocket trying to launch just 1 ton, which is about the weight of a small car, would have to be 3 times the size of the Saturn V, and that's the biggest rocket ever built, which carried about 45 tons to the Moon. Even if our hypothetical super-Earth inhabitants were smart enough to dream of space travel, they'd quickly run into a gravity-sized problem. Sure, they might try to build launch pads high up in the mountains to shave off some of the crushing gravity. But on big planets, mountains don't get tall. The immense gravity just squashes them down before they can grow sky-high. Oh, by the way, that's why the tallest peaks in our solar system aren't on the big planets at all. Mars, which is quite a lightweight world, hosts Olympus Mons, a volcano that towers 13.5 miles high. But on a much heavier planet, mountains that tall would collapse under their own bulk before the rocket builders even got halfway up. So our poor super-Earth engineers would probably need to build massive artificial launch towers just to get closer to thinner air. If they had flight technology, like airplanes or helicopters, they might try flying their rockets up first and then lighting the engines in midair. We're actually inching towards something like that on Earth with air-launched rockets. But what if that planet was a water world, and a lot of super-Earths might be? In that case, their smartest species might not even live on land. They easily could be aquatic geniuses. Picture dolphin-like engineers or squid astronomers, forced to launch rockets from underwater. Kind of ballistic missile submarine-type space launches. But even with all that effort, the physics is still tough. For a super-Earth about 10 times Earth's mass, chemical rockets could technically work, but the cost would be ridiculous. You'd need so much fuel that you'd have to burn through a sizable fraction of the planet just to get one ship into orbit. The only real options for super-Earth civilizations might be nuclear-powered rockets or space elevators made of materials stronger than anything we've discovered. Until then, those creatures might stay stuck on the ground with no satellites, no space stations, and no super-Earth NASA. So, as our telescopes keep spotting new, potentially habitable worlds, we probably shouldn't expect to find any weather satellites circling above them. If there's life out there on the super-Earth, it's likely gazing up at the stars, wishing it could visit them, just like we once did. That's it for today. So hey, if you pacified your curiosity, then give the video a like and share it with your friends. Or if you want more, just click on these videos and stay on the bright side.